4-hour schedule, specifically signs that your baby might be ready for this fantastic milestone. So the 4-hour schedule is a great milestone and something to look forward to, but don't rush into it. You want to make sure your baby is ready. So let's review the signs that baby is ready to move to that 4-hour schedule. If you move too soon, you can really mess up the schedule overall. But having said that, I don't want you stressing out. If you feel like baby's ready, you go through these signs and you think, yes, I think my baby's ready, give it a try. And if it doesn't work, then you can go back. What I don't want you to do is try to force a 4-hour schedule on a baby who is not ready. That's what's going to mess it up. Not just trying it, but forcing it. Your first sign to look for is that your baby is sleeping through the night. This can mean two different things. It can mean either that your baby is sleeping from the dream feed, which happens around between 10 and 11 p.m. until your morning wake up time. Or your baby is sleeping from bedtime, which is typically between 7 to 8-ish p.m. until your morning wake up time. So, sleeping through the night from either of those, either bedtime or dream feed until the morning. Next, your baby really should be 12 weeks old or older. It can happen as young as 12 weeks, or it can happen much, much older. But don't try to force a 4-hour schedule on a baby younger than 12 weeks old, primarily because you need enough feedings in a day. So if you are having a 12-week-old just needs more feedings in a day than you can get on a 4-hour schedule. Along that same thought, your third clue is that your baby is capable of handling fewer feedings in a day. If you're moving from a 3-hour schedule or a 3.5-hour schedule or some combination to a 4-hour schedule, that means you're going to drop to 4 feedings a day between your morning wake up and your bedtime. You might have a 5th if you still have a dream feed, but you're going to move to 4 to 5 feedings in a 24-hour period. Your baby needs to be capable of just having 4 or 5 feedings a day before you move to that 4-hour schedule. Okay, next you really want to be consistently waking your baby up from naps, or at the very least your baby is sleeping until that nap should be over each time. But if you are waking your baby up from nap every time, that means your baby isn't really hungry. Your baby isn't waking up from hunger. Your baby could sleep a little longer, which can be important for that 4-hour schedule. So if you are consistently waking your baby up from naps, your baby might be ready for that 4-hour schedule. And your next clue is that your baby isn't hungry when you're trying to feed your baby at 3 hours or 3.5 hours. Your baby's just not that interested, not taking a full feeding, doesn't seem hungry. So that's another clue. Now, sometimes babies will go in the morning, they'll eat a whole bunch, and then they're not very hungry at that second feeding of the day. But that doesn't mean they're ready for a 4-hour schedule all day. They might be ready to go 4 hours between those first 2 feedings, but not completely drop a feeding and go to 4 hours all day. So you might have your baby ready for some 4-hour intervals, but not 4 hours all day long. And it's okay to have hybrid 3 to 4 hour schedules and mix it up in there. Okay, next, your baby needs to be able to handle longer wake times. Typically on a 4-hour schedule, you are aiming for a 1.5 to up to a 2.5 hour nap. That means if you're eating every 4 hours, sleeping for 2 hours, you need to be awake for 2 hours. If you are awake for an hour and a half, you need to be able to sleep for 2.5 hours. So make sure your baby can stay awake long enough to meet that 4-hour schedule. Otherwise, you're going to be off schedule all day long because your baby will be waking up early and you're going to be frustrated and the schedule just isn't going to work. Okay, you've listened to all 6 of these. Your final one is you, the parent. Always trust your instincts. If you've gone through these and you think, yes, my baby is all of these things, I feel like my baby's ready, give it a try. Give it a try and see what happens. Trust your gut. But even if your baby meets all of these things and you think, my baby's yes to all of these, but I still don't feel like my baby's ready for that 4-hour schedule, don't do it yet. There's no rush. So trust yourself as the parent, and you can always, if you try to change the schedule and it doesn't work, you can always go back. So don't be afraid to try it, just don't push something that's not working. Okay, if you've listened to all of these signs and you feel like, yes, my baby is ready, we are ready to try that 4-hour schedule, now what? How do I do it? Go check out my post. I have all the information on how to move to that 4-hour schedule. It also outlines all of these signs if you want to read through them. There's more detail. So go read the post to find out how, if you're ready to take that next step.